What's going on, YouTubes? Time for another recap. So, as we got into it, we did pick some short targets for last night's YouTube. I will put yesterday's video in the link in the description if you want to see it. So we had some short target calls here coming down to 566, 58, 564, 89. Those are my two short targets for the SPY, which is a golden pocket and a gap fill. And today did not go quite as planned. So we have a couple that, even though these hit, we got the V reversal, but this trade right here, that V reversal call back to 1 minute gap, we'll explain here in chat, which we also called, and we'll go over the last couple calls that we had here, was not overly planned, and I'll go over why. So the long scalp open to the 5-minute 100 EMA. Okay, so I put a big note right here and it said build long to 5-minute 100 EMA target at open. Let it scam down down first. Okay, I didn't listen to myself. That's why I'm saying that. Let it scam down, big words, first as called, and break down filling bottom of the data. Well, I wanted to see this go a little bit better, and I wanted it to bounce at yesterday's lows, hit at 5, and then go down to those targets, but it actually went down, then up to the targets. We just had to make some small adjustments, and again, we're protecting ourselves trading micros. So on the expresses, I don't even know where my screen's at. Oh, it's over here. Right here, they still didn't withdraw this account, so we're still waiting for top steps. So we're only linking the 4 out of the 5, 2,800 on both actual group accounts on our expresses today, so $5,600. Now, we got some P&Ls, got some members in our Discord, absolutely killing it. That's a 10K or plus. We had a couple other guys doing some multi-thousand days here today, so shout out to everybody in the Discord. You guys are killing it. Another almost 3K right there. Nailing it. All right, let's get into it. So, the last couple trades we had, so you seen that one I put over on Qs, and this is why we posted the Qs trade first, and then I'll kind of go over the open. So yesterday we had this no GP5, and that little dude is associated with a 1 minute gap in action. So yesterday on that big downtrend, you see the 1 minute gap right here. Gap indicator shows us that 486, so we got the width right there. So we had a good sneaking suspicion after we called the V reversal off the weekly that we had the target of that 1 minute gap today. What else was the target? Well, like I said, predicted or tried to, got a little jazzy there in the morning. The 100 EMA 5 minutes, that is in the green right here. Okay. So on the QQQ 5 minute, we actually broke down and continued just suffering and never got a clean back test of that guy, right? Let's go to the SPY chart as well, because this was a big one for the SPY where it had broken down. Let's go to yesterday's open here. Delete some of this stuff. Price action, see, opened up, kind of chopped that 100 EMA push and slammed through the 100 EMA in the green. Now notice it ran away, price action did, the entire day from this beautiful green 100 EMA. Well, that means the next day coming over here, I'm going to look for a tag of that 100 EMA. So that's where all those notes were made from. So when I called dump out of the gate, long V reversal to none, I actually wanted it to hold yesterday's lows in the 10, push up to the green 100 EMA, tag it, then give me my short targets, then look for the upside. But the inverse happened. It actually dropped first, then rallied back. So that was the adjustment I had to make. So we took a little back and forth on the micros. We had to average it a little farther than I wanted to on the NQ. So let's talk about that open first. So the NQ open that I suffered the big drawdown, and we're narrating this as we go through chat like we always do. This is the opening candle here, and then we had a no tag GP. Now I said we're probably gonna where's the 1 minute? Okay, there we go. We had the 20,000 whole $half here, and as we opened up, kind of popped up, I'm like, man, this thing is really gonna just slam down to that 20K, and it actually went even farther than the 20K hit because we did have a gap. Now if you know me in this channel, I'm very adamant on gaps, right? So I talked to my chat here too, and I'm like, look guys, if it goes for the gap fill first and scams down, it is what it is, no big deal. This gap on the daily was open from 321 to 324, that weekend gap up, right? More tariff nonsense. So we pushed up to the 200s, came back down, and today we filled that gap. Now, if you remember the video from yesterday, we are still in a 3-up long scenario. What does that mean? Well, we based push 1, consolidation, higher low, push 2, down, higher low. This is why we were so adamant on the continuation short targets today, because of just friendly trend. It's just statistics, not predictions. So as we come into the gap fill, let's take a look at it now on the intraday chart with the daily gap mapped out so we can kind of see where that came in. So I was in micros long, unfortunately, since job data. So here's me over here at the jobs data going, okay, well, if I point a fib to the downside, high, low, my worst case scenario fibbing out the jobs is I have to wait till this fib completes. And lo and behold, I had to wait the whole thing. So I went backwards from my long ads. My last ad was right here that I wanted 666 on the QQQ. So from here, I went backwards 102 points on micros. And that was my manage. Now, because we only use 3 to 4 micros, that's easily, you know, absorbed by even a small Top Step account. And this is why we trade these small, medium Top Step accounts with micros, unless we are having a fast-paced one-hit algo tag, okay? So I had to add in my last point right here. It started popping back up, and we finally came back, and we called this V right here. So let's take a look at this V first, because this call was developed off of the jobs data 1 minute, right? So if you take a peek at the fib again, pointed to the downside, you'll see it walk down the extension 1618, 2618, 3618, 423, and then launched itself back up. Now here's where I noticed the V reversal was going to take place. We're going to dive into this. Now, despite the Fibonacci, we're going to leave this on actually. I'm going to delete the daily gap because that's the visual. The golden pocket was my back test, and this was the biggest need, right? It needed to come back to this GP test. And I'll show you where it was. It was right here. And this is the jobs data GP, okay? So if the jobs data is right here, so the golden pocket is right there. It's kind of hard to see on the 1 minute chart, but we were calling a long back up from this bottom that would slam back into the GP. So I put an order out at 20,007, but let's look at the confirms. How did we know, or at least attempt, all thanks to the Fibonacci, that we had a confirmation to the upside? Well, it ran down on that 1 minute Fibby, hit the bottom, and it popped, okay? And we looked at this and said, okay, well, the 10 SMA can be the loop up, so it breaks over the 10 SMA, back test the 10 SMA, confirming support and higher low, and it can go for a run. So it started doing that. So I'm like, okay, I'll start adding. Well, what do we know about Fibonacci recycling? Well, when price action walks down, 1, 6, 1, 8, 2, 3, 4, a lot of the time after it completes at 423.6, it can walk back up, okay? And again, remember, our price target was the QQQ 5 minute 100 EMA for the day as we posted, right? So that right here, that opening morning huge dip and then slamming into that 100 EMA was the choice out of the gate there. And we already hit that. So I was like, oh man, like what else do we have? So I actually swapped to the SPY and went, okay, well, the SPY doesn't have a 100 EMA tag, so I'm really hoping the SPY drags us back up. Here's the 100 EMA on the 1 minute chart. And of course, we did target this on the 5 because that was the whole ordeal, but I traded the NQ off the SPY, the rubber band effect, right? So as SPY based and I seen it chase down the 100 EMA, that's where I was confident in the NQ coming back to GP later on this huge force up after the open. So let's take a peek one more time here at the 1 minute, full fib down, full fib up on the 5, and then the GP was tagged. On the 1 minute, you got the extra confirmations, which were the fib walk ups and walk downs. So it held 423, higher low was 3618. Next higher low, 2618. And then once it recovered 20,000, I'm like, that's it. I'm putting an order out. So I doubled down on the micros, re-averaged in, and we grabbed an order from here to the 2618 above 20K and longed it to the golden pocket for about 64 points. And that's what got us out of that dead little range. So we managed it. And this is another piece of the pie of Top Step that I love, because if I'm trading NQs, I have no restrictions. I can swap back to micros, no restrictions. I can utilize 2 or 3 micros, then add up to 5, 15, 25, 35 one day, and then I use 5 the next day, and there's no problem because there's no stupid rules. So Top Step really allowing traders to be traders and gets us out of positions like this where other people that have a percentage drawdown, that's a scam, that would have a drawdown and they would have noted you for a no payout because, oh, you went too far red. Okay, there's no such thing as too far red if you still have management potential in the whole trade. We were just a little early. Let's talk about that management one more time on why we picked those targets. So those shorts, remember, we went over in the last YouTube video. Again, I'll put it in the description. I said 2 things. We were going to get the 50, right, the GP on the way down of this bad boy. So this 20th candle here, it had a 50 tag needed, which means the 50% retracement, high low of the 320 daily candle. Okay, that's 566.60. And when we seen, let me hide this real quick. when we see the next target was gap fill, and these were the two targets I had posted for the shorts, okay? So that gave us 564.90, 566.59. That was purely off of this candle's 50 fib and the gap fill from here, okay? That's where I got those two targets. So here's me adding into micros going, well, guys, if we have to stop out and crash, it's going to be under this. So make sure to buy the bounce into the gap. So I'm buying here, and I got suckered 102 points down in the micros. And then I bought the last of mine here on SPY. I'm like, well, there's SPY's gap fill. This is the last amount of support. This is my last short target. We had T2 on here. And I'm like, that's it. It's got a V here. And it did. So luckily, thanks to the SPY and our two short targets, we had an opportunity to trade the micros, right? 2 or 3 here, 4 or 5, add up to 15 here. And then by the time it popped back, that's trade management. Micros give you so much flexibility to not blow your crap up. It is just so amazing. Okay. Let's talk about the rest of the day. So you know me in GPs, okay? And the last bit of this pie to the reversal, let's go on here. And this is the last piece. So here's that short target. We lit up and I said needs higher lows for long trend. We're talking about this back. So when I put out for my crew, the last piece, I said long anything above the short target 1, which was the GP candle we just talked about on the daily. And if it goes long over there, it's going to come to the GP 570.68. And I put a big red zone and said, that's about it for the day. It's got to have a directional pick. It's going to go long into this red channel, and then it's going to pick direction. It picked lower. Okay. So my long call was from here. We posted on the X and said, man, that V reversal call was crazy. We got that. And we picked the top being 61.8. Well, what's the 61.8? It's just yesterday's fibs. You should always have these on your charts, yesterday's high lows, because it activates a golden pocket. And this is what we do for us. So again, yesterday, see all these notes? It's very simple looking at a daily chart, right? High, low, golden pocket. The golden pocket is between 38.20 and 61.8. So if we were inside 567, we had an opportunity to use yesterday's lows to push to yesterday's golden pocket. That's where that trade sentiment came from. Okay, let's look at it here. Oh, I drew it way over. That's right. Well, it's actually right here. So any breakup, here's yesterday's lows right here. And I just drew that from here. All right. So here's yesterday's lows to GP. So that's why we said long anything above that short target there, we're going to look for the golden pocket, and then it'll probably just chill. That's it. So the site having a management day, we still squeaked out $5,600. We're still on the winning streak, and we are still winning. So with that being said, if you want to watch me trade this stuff live, you want to watch me narrate it, you want to hang out with us and chat in a great community, the link is in the description. If you want to win a free Top Step account, we give them away every Saturday. Come on into the Saturday live stream, drop a comment on this video, Tuesday's video, Monday's video, every video this week, and I will pick a random video from the week, and I will draw a winner for $50. And I don't care if you want, you could buy a Top Step account if you want to, or you just take $50 and pocket it on Saturday. Do whatever you want to do. So we'll catch you guys then. Thanks for tuning in.